So after a couple months of waiting, we finally got a decent sized Deadlock update that we can talk about. Earlier this week, a balance patch was released and a lot of heroes got some changes, and we also got a new objective added to the map with the Unstable Rift. And if you watched my last video, then you'll know that there's definitely more Deadlock updates to come in the very near future. But I'm not going to talk about just theories or leaks for the future of Deadlock again, because Deadlock's main developer Yoshi actually gave us some confirmation on what's coming to the game next. Be sure to stay until the end of the video so you know exactly what's coming to Deadlock. We also got some information from within the game files of who Deadlock's next heroes could be. Of course, the future of Deadlock is fairly unknown, but based on what we just learned from a developer, I think some of the most commonly requested updates and changes are coming very soon. So if you want to stay up to date with all the Deadlock news and updates, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of it in the future. The first thing I want to talk about is something that we found in the game files after the most recent update, and it has to do with the new objective, the Unstable Rift. The Unstable Rift is the new and updated version of the King of the Hill objective, and within the game files there's two different versions of this King of the Hill mode. One of them, of course, being the Unstable Rift, but there's also another name for King of the Hill, and that's Dying Star. There are a couple options as to why this would be in the game files. One of the most common theories is that Dying Star was the previous name for this King of the Hill objective before it got changed and finalized to be Unstable Rift. But the other theory is that it's possible that Dying Star could be an alternate version of this objective. I'm sure behind the scenes the developers have been testing a lot of things before they released this mode, so maybe Dying Star was an alternate version of this objective with some small tweaks. In the future, we might see the name Dying Star again used for something else, but it showing up in the game files after the most recent update is definitely something worth mentioning. So as I said at the beginning of the video, we not only got confirmation from the main Deadlock developer Yoshi about the future of Deadlock, but there was also even more information that we gathered from the game files about what could be the next set of heroes added to the game. It was discovered that 4 internal heroes, some of which we thought were scrapped, have been removed from the game. Deadlock Project 8 says that in today's update they were deleted permanently, but there were other heroes that were left untouched. The name of the 4 heroes that were removed were Earhart, Druid, Opera, and Test Hero. Project 8 also gave us their thoughts as to what this could mean. They said that the first option is that these 4 heroes have been renamed and put into the test build, and they were just simply cut from our version of the game. But the second option is that these heroes have been completely removed and scrapped. This isn't the first time that we've heard these 4 names. Just the other week and in one of my previous videos, I mentioned Earhart. Earhart, alongside scrapped hero Wrecker, received some new lines of code involving voice lines and sound effects. So just last week, we thought Wrecker and Earhart were in the running to be some of Deadlock's next heroes. This is a great piece of concept art for what Earhart might look like, as Earhart is probably in reference to Amelia Earhart, who is a pilot. But if you've been around the Deadlock scene for a while, you might recognize even a couple more of these heroes. Like Opera, for example, has been in the game files since 2024, and this hero actually used to have a model and some abilities. Opera is also known by her other name, Cadence, and Cadence had a full set of abilities and a full backstory. Cadence had abilities like Anthem and Silence Contraptions, and also had an ability called Lullaby that would allow her to put enemies to sleep similar to Haze. And her ultimate Crescendo would be very similar to Kelvin's Ice Dome, allowing you to encase your enemies in glass and shatter the glass with a song to deal massive damage. As I said, Cadence had a full backstory, and was even featured in a leaked lore book that was focused on Ivy. You might also recognize the hero named Druid, as they have been in the game files since late 2025. Druid had a set of abilities like planting obscure bushes, planting branch walls, and an ability called Sprout. There was even this model called Shrub Wall that was in the game files. And if you've been around the scene more recently, you might even recognize the name Test Hero. Test Hero was added to the game files just a few months ago and was using Calico's model. And this hero had an interesting placeholder ability called Wall Cling. So initially, we thought that this test hero could have been a reimagination of Slork. Slork is of course known for his one ability that would allow him to grapple onto a wall and go invisible, and at the time we thought it was possible that the developers have seen all the community requests to bring Slork back, but after these 4 heroes have been removed from the files, it's hard to say what the future will hold for Slork. So if we take a look at all the unused heroes that are currently in the game files, we can see some that date back to Neon Prime, but any of the hero names that are underlined in red are currently not playable in the game but still might be in development behind the scenes. So now let's talk about the most important piece of news that we've gotten this week, and that's what the main developer of Deadlock, Yoshi, had to say when it comes to the future of Deadlock. Yoshi sent out this message in the official Deadlock Discord server in response to someone asking when the next major content update is. Yoshi had to say this: "We certainly understand the desire for more information since it's been a while, but we are a little reluctant to give specific dates at the moment because there are still a bunch of moving parts that make it hard for us to predict with confidence right now. Specific timing aside though, there are 3 updates / categories we are prioritizing on getting out next. The first one is a revamped matchmaking / ranked update. The second one is an item focused update. And the third one is a large content update. We aren't sure about the order that these will come out yet, but we are trying to get the matchmaking update out in a few weeks to allow for a little time to stabilize things before the content update is ready." In this message, Yoshi fully acknowledges that it's been quite some time since we've had any major content in Deadlock, but we did get some confirmation on what the next 3 updates of Deadlock could include. The first one, of course, being the matchmaking and ranked update. And he says that this update is only a few weeks away. So if you've been craving a more competitive atmosphere in Deadlock, it seems like a ranked system with possibly even a full pick and ban system could be coming very soon. And there's also been a lot of complaints about how the matchmaking is currently working in Deadlock. So a complete overhaul to this system specifically could make the game feel so much better. The second thing he mentioned was an item update. This of course could just be an update to how items work and how the shop currently works in Deadlock, but I can't help to think that this might have to do with the leaked cursed item shop that we've been talking about over the past few months. This of course would add a brand new item shop in the sewers of Deadlock with some brand new or even modified items. There's also been leaks about how some of the legendary items from Street Brawl could make their way into the main Deadlock mode. This would be balanced by the fact that they're going to be adding a new soul category for 9,600 souls. So if you want a legendary item, it's going to cost a lot of souls. The last thing that Yoshi mentioned was the major content update. In my opinion, this update should include things like updates to the walkers and the jungle camps, further updates to the current map, new heroes, new items, the new PvE game mode, and possibly even new systems entirely. Based on how Yoshi worded this message, it seems like the ranked / matchmaking update should come out in 2 to 3 weeks. And then probably 2 to 3 weeks after that, we'll get a significant content update, which will either be focused on the items or the quote major content update that Yoshi mentioned. So let me know down in the comments what you think about these updates coming to Deadlock. Are you excited for a potential ranked mode coming to Deadlock? And what other updates do you want to see in the quote major content update that Yoshi mentioned? As I say at the end of all of my videos, Deadlock is just going to continue to get bigger in 2026, and if you want to stay up to date with all the news and updates, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of it. I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and I'd appreciate all your help in getting there. And I'll see you in the next video. Later.